feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome. If you are new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're my repeated subscribers, welcome my little astronaut. So for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a nice dive into my dream, my vaccination dream. Now, this had nothing really to do with the actual vaccine. It has everything to do with people taking their own matters into their own hand, into thinking that they're the heroes based on and false information. So, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what your interpretations are, what you think happened, your intuition, what you guys are telling you, whether in the live chat or in the comment section below. Also, this is being recorded on September 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This dream was documented on August 15th, 2021 at 3:03 Eastern Standard Time. And if you are interested in booking a reading with me, just check the description below. If you have a dream or a vision or anything that you would like to share, go to my website. You can find that in the description below, where you can submit a request, and I'll be more than happy to schedule a meeting or an appointment with you. We can go over your dream, and I'll give you a reading on it, then I'll upload it on here for YouTube so other people can see. But you will remain anonymous, and no one can or will not be able to see your face, in case you're interested. Here are some disclaimers on your screen. This is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. And here are some 2 last-minute disclaimers as well. All right, guys, let's begin. Hope you enjoy it. And I'll be occasionally popping up photos and stuff like that, so you can kind of get more of a deeper understanding about what it is that I'm talking about in this video. All right, everybody. If you are new, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. If you're my patron subscribers, welcome. So this is a pre-recorded. This is live because I am actually behind the screen. There's just the old version of me and the new version of me. In this version, I'm going to be explaining what happened in my dream, and the new version of me, the future me, is going to be popping up pictures so you guys can see them and what I'm trying to explain or articulate in a way. So just want to put that out there as well. This is a new video, so if you like the old one, definitely like this video because I accidentally messed up on technical issues. So you might have to like this video again if you do like the content. So anyway, let's begin. This is my vaccine dream. It was documented on August 15, 2021 at 3:03 Eastern Standard Time. Here's a disclaimer. Disclaimer, I am not practicing medical professional. I'm not responsible for any choices or repercussions you make outside of this YouTube video. This was only intended for entertainment purposes only. Please note that this does not correlate to the vaccine companies such as Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, but rather the black market vaccines. And I'll go more in depth with that and what that means at the end of the video or the dream subscription, because once you hear the dream, it'll start to make a little bit more sense. And also, here's one more other disclaimer. I do not give anyone permission to copy, edit, or distort my language, as I own the full rights to this video. This video cannot be used in political attack ads or anything within the means of distorting this video in any way to spread a false narrative in their favor. This video is not meant to strike fear into vaccines, but I am an avid supporter of them. I'm just here to relay a message that I've been given. That is all. So basically, when you receive a dream, normally, if you remember it, it is a visitation, a message. If you don't remember your dream, it was just a dream and nothing else. So it was more of a visitation or a vision. That's all. So let's begin. All right. So I remember being in 2 separate cities, but in one simultaneously. So it's basically you feel like you're in 2 different areas. Like your bodies are in 2 different areas of the world. Like one of me was in the United States, and the other version of me was in Italy. But it was 2 separate areas. So it could be the astral realm in Italy, and the physical in the United States. Could be something like that. It was similar to the way the TV show works when a scene changes. So, in one scene, you'll be in the United States, and the other scene will change to Italy. Kind of like that, the transition period. I was in Italy and in the United States. I remember having a large studio with someone for school. So I'll show up with a picture of the studio now, and previously before that, I showed you a picture of Italy and the United States in case you forgot where the countries are located in the map. Anyway, I'm not sure what school I go to, but it was something like studying abroad. And believe me, I did study abroad twice. I went to United Kingdom in 2019 and Italy in 2020. And funny enough, when I was going to Italy, when I was with my study abroad advisor, I told her that when I go to Italy, a pandemic will happen, but that was before I even knew I had some sort of psychic abilities. Apparently, when it took place, the pandemic was already underway. It was actually true. When I got to Italy, the pandemic started 2 months after I was there. All I remember was seeing my setup for my channel with books and tarot cards all being organized by me on the shelf. So basically, it's kind of like my studio now, where I have my little area with my tarot cards and crystals and stuff like that being set up. But it was like in my dream state, of course. But it was like located in Italy. So I was in Italy, but I was going back home to the United States or something like that. Right. And however, I turned on to the person I was staying with, my roommate, and I asked, quote, if we need to return home, how much did it take to unpack and pack? So basically, how long did it take to unpack everything and packing it back up, back in a suitcase, right? And I remember looking around, and it appears I bought everything. When I said everything, I mean everything. I'm a type of guy where when I go somewhere on vacation or anything, I have to bring every single little thing because what I'm like in that type of state of mind where like, what if I need that? Like, what if I need to get my hair gelled? Then I can't have Pompeii because it's too windy out. Stuff like that. Person who overthinks basically, right? There was a book I picked up to a place on a shelf called The Magical Earth. So the book that I picked up in one of my studios was called, quote, Magical Earth. I don't have that book. Apparently the book doesn't even exist in our reality, but I tried searching for it. But what I did find was, I'll show you right now, is this tarot card deck, which actually, believe it or not, I actually have. And I had no idea that when I bought it, that this was going to come up in my dream. So I'm not sure when I bought this deck, could have been afterwards or could have been before that. It's either one of the two. Personally, I never seen this book like this in this reality, particularly cards I don't read. So yeah, I'm like illiterate basically. In the next opening scene, I remember going to the post office to ask them how much it will cost to send everything, including furniture, back to my home. So basically back to the United States. Right? So I don't have to pay extra for airfare. Like I was worried about taxes, but it's so made up. Oddly enough, me and my young sister were going to Home Depot. So I'll show you a screen of Home Depot. I know a lot of you guys are from around the world and you may not be familiar with Home Depot. It's just basically a hardware store. It's a very large retail store. It's almost like Walmart, except you walk into it, you have almost everything and anything you need. The Christmas decorations are phenomenal, but besides the point. And I'll show you those two little things in case you never always wanted to see what it looks like. Now you have. She got some stuff, but at the same time, we must have met someone who was trying to give out flashcards and business cards about how to get the vaccine and when. So I'm going to show you a little picture. So this picture is a business card, and the other one is a brochure. So basically, it's kind of like that. You ever seen like somebody standing outside and they're handing out paperwork on certain product or things, almost like Girl Scout or Boy Scout handing out cookies and all that type of thing. They stand outside and they hand you something, even though you're just gonna not do anything with it. You're gonna throw it in the garbage afterwards. That kind of thing, unless it's cookies, because those are good. But besides the point, basically, they will give you out like these different brochures of cards. But what they were doing, they were like scams. Do you ever see like people in New York City that give you something like a CD to hold it, and then they start telling you need to pay them because you're stealing otherwise, and so you're in panic mode? That kind of scenario where they're just trying to scam you and trying to lead you into the false narrative. So basically, what they do is what I got in my dream was these were not like people who actually work for the company or who are in quote unquote like trying to promote like the good vaccine, which is Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson and Johnson. What these people were trying to do was promote their version of the vaccine. So like another one would be like people who've taken their own hands and their own narrative are trying to create their own vaccines. So like for example, Donald Trump with hydrochloroquine, bleach, the There's a few others that they did. That's what this dream is about. It's not saying necessarily about the vaccine itself. The vaccine itself is good. What it is doing now, people are taking their own matters into their own hands, creating different concoctions and forcing and injecting these people with the concoction because inside their head they believe that they're going to be the hero while they believe the government is the enemy, right? And my sister must have held on to the card because she wanted to get vaccinated. In walking life, I am not vaccinated as of right now because currently I'm not vaccinated. Still, I'm not vaccinated, by the way. In waking life, I am not vaccinated. I just said that because my guys told me I was not ready for it, and the vaccines that are out right now are not suitable for my body. I have to wait for a different vaccine brand, and this is something I knew for a while. So I'm totally planning on getting vaccinated. It's just I have to wait for the one that my guys tell me is best for me. So I just want to put that out there. I am pro-vaccine. Going back to my dream, it opened up to a scene where my sister is going to the sketchy place. And it was so run down and poor, like really disgusting. It was like a warehouse, basically. And the walls were torn apart and the grounds were dirty. I'll show you 3 different pictures. Each one is like kind of similar to energetic field. I couldn't find a photo that looked similar to what I was trying to describe, but you can kind of see how dirty and disgusting and how sketchy it looked. It looked like some place where a druggie or like somebody who isn't very sanitized, so to speak, or very clean or sterile, right? And the ceiling fan has fallen down, leaving open areas for infestation and extreme dust, right? However, she propelled forward so much so that she sat down. So basically, she fell. I don't know what that means, but she propelled forward and so much so that she sat down. There was no proper procedure that was done. Okay, so basically, I was describing what was happening because I was watching from a third party. So basically, she went forward and then back in her chair. I don't know why I had to describe that, but I guess I did. So basically, I was watching from third person, right? And there was no proper procedure that was done. This is why it was sketchy. It was 1010 answer number, by the way. And so basically, by the sketchiness, they don't do paperwork, clearance information, legal documents, or anything like that. There's no sort of proper procedure completing it. So that already tells you that something is off, something's weird happening, right? And I haven't seen any introduction of any sort of paperwork. All I remember is watching from my third eye view, so I'm seeing through my third eye now. Seeing a lady holding a plastic food bag, which I'm going to show you on the screen, because I know some of you guys don't live in the United States, and you may never see an actual plastic food bag. We call them Ziplocs, with a needle. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with a needle. And popping a hole into the bag with the needle to suck out the juice, the quote, red liquid. It wasn't like blood or anything, but it was more like a neon red Gatorade color. And I'll show you on the screen right now what Gatorade is and what the color looks like. If the color red is like a very bright red, so you know it's not blood. The woman would then proceed to take the needle and stab you right in the neck. So almost like it was forced. Like it's not like they inject it slowly first. They have to find the vein, and then they have to inject it slowly into you. No, it's more like, you know, like when someone is trying to like tranquilize somebody or, you know, drug them or inject them with some sort of material thing. They'll try to do whatever they can by force without consent. So in this case, this person did it without consent and jabbed it right in the neck. Ow, that really hurt, by the way. But they jabbed it in and the liquid went in, right? The woman then proceeded to take the needle and stab you right in the neck, unlike they do with the shoulder and arm, or it's just like shoulder and an arm here, right? My sister got home that day feeling very dizzy, confused, almost as if she couldn't think straight. After 24 hours had passed in my dream state, I asked my sister what happened, and as I saw through my third eyes in a third-person view, I then began to tell her she should have never trusted any individual who works in sketchy areas and does not follow proper paper procedures and health guidelines on how to properly use the syringe. I also stated in the dream that a vaccine fluid should always be clear and never red in any other sorts of colors. It should always be clear. After discussing this, right, we have come to realize that this wasn't funded by the government, but rather those trying to inject people with their own vaccine by disguising themselves as popular vaccine named companies and, of course, nurses, doctors, and etc. This was a drug and a vaccine black market. They were looking for something from us and anyone else. Later in that day, me and my sister were home that day, and some people came to the door trying to barge in. We looked at the little glass peephole, which I'll show you two pictures. So it's a door. So if you're in like a hotel or something and someone's knocking on your door, you want to know who is at that door because you have no window. So they would put like a little peephole so you could kind of peek through and kind of see who it is without having to open the door. And in this case, that's what it was. That's what I had. And that was what was in my studio. And we started freaking out. It was a woman and her side boys. I call her side boys. Like she was like the gang leader, and she has her big buff men to kind of like beat them up, like hold them down, hold the fort kind of thing. And it was a woman and her side boys. We started freaking out and we tried locking the door, but instead opened it for some odd reason. I don't know why we opened it. And they barged in and stabbed both of my sisters with their vaccine, not the actual real vaccine, but the synthetical vaccine, to give us, quote unquote, their booster shot. That was all that I remember. But if I could tell you one thing that I took away from this, is that look for red flags, trust your intuition, never take a vaccine from an uncredited source. This could be a warning from my future self that this could be a new version in the black market. We're trying to forcibly inject people with liquid or any sort of material. This could be done to create more, quote, drug buyers. Just be careful. This has nothing to do with the vaccine companies, but everything to do with the vaccines that are taken in the hands of the few. All right, so that is my dream. I'm going to return you back to Chris, my future self, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Feel free to put in the live chat what you think of today and your interpretation and your intuition, everything you get from today's video. Again, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, so I'm back. All right. It's funny how I look so different. I have the glasses now. So, I'm used to Chris and now with Pat Chris. But anyway, we're back. So, I was wondering, I really want to hear a lot of what you guys think about my dream and my interpretation and everything I got from it. It had nothing to do with the government. It has everything to do with people trying to forcibly force people to take their vaccine. Almost like for example, people in Texas, because of their religion, they're against abortion, so they're going to try to force people to not be able to get that. So kind of this very similar idea. It's like a very cult-like mind thinking is what I'm referring to, not necessarily the government itself. So Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson are all safe to take. I'm just telling you, don't take it from uncredited source. Like if someone says, inject yourself with bleach to help defend yourself against COVID, probably don't do that, okay? That's just a red flag. Just want to put that out there. But anyway, let's begin. I'm going to quickly go to ad break. I think you had a lot of information being given to you. I also want to give you enough time in ad break to write what you think in terms of your interpretation, your intuition, what you got from this live chat, into the live chat to give you enough time to be able to write it without feeling rushed. So I'll give you a moment and plus for me to kind of relax my eyes a little bit. Then we'll begin, and this will be the tower part section to read in. Have you ever wondered how you can get access or find my social media, my webpage, anything from my Patreon page to my classes, to book a reading with me, whatever you want, and anything that you could possibly think of, including submitting questions? You would go onto my YouTube page, click on the most uploaded or most recent video. You'll click on any of these or the ones that are uploaded as most recent. You will go there. You will go to the description, as in this case. And you can either click on submit your question, video topic, or request here. You can find it there. Or you can go check out through my website and you can click on this, which is Linktree at Dasso Chris. You click on that and it will take you to my webpage where you can find numerous different links, or it could take you to many different things along with my classes that will be uploaded here as well on my Patreon page. You can book a reading with me. You can submit your question. You can find the most uploaded video. You can go on to my 2 other YouTube channels. You can make a generous donation if you would like, along with joining my Facebook page and Instagram and Twitter as well, of course, if you are interested. So this is how you can find my webpage. If you are interested, let me know in the comment section below what you do think. And I'll return you back to your content. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. So I want to address one thing. So Mel, Biden is trying to make all large companies give employees a jab. I did some research and background knowledge on this because I wanted to make sure I understood the background and not without assumption. Right? You don't want to make an ass out of you and me. So based on what I have found is that President Biden said that companies are required to um, have people take the vaccine, but if you don't want to get vaccinated, you're required to get COVID-19 tested every once a week. So every once a week for some companies and 2 times a week, uh, once every 2 weeks for other companies. So that's how it works. So you're not really being forced 100% to take the vaccine. Again, you have the ability to not take the vaccine. You will just have to get tested every 2 weeks. So there is an option here. Again, poor choice of word on President Biden for saying mandatory. He should have never used that word, especially with the Republican rhetoric. That's on him. That's his fault. But indeed, it is not mandatory. He's making it a primary goal, but it's not mandatory. So again, it is not 1984, George Orwell. I just want to make sure you guys know that. Yes, exactly right. Companies that have 100 or more employees, I believe if you don't get vaccinated, you have to get tested every 2 weeks. Thank you for clarification. Yes. So it's not mandatory. You're not mandated. You're not being forced to take it. You have the option to not take the vaccine. So don't buy into the conspiratorial rhetoric. No, Mel, no, you didn't say mandatory. Don't worry. Other people have sometimes I notice some people are so paranoid that of the mandatory status. So I just want to calm them and say that it's not mandatory. So yes, you are not mandatory to take the vaccine. Just so you know. Just want to clarify on that behalf. Mel, again, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I just want to clarify. I'm talking to the people directly, not you specifically. All right, so let's begin. Let's kind of get through and kind of see what messages my guys have for me for why we had that dream in the first place and what that really means. So if you have anything you want to share with me, put it in the live chat or put it in the comment section below. All right, let's begin. All right. So, Spirit Angel, please tell me, what do you mean? What does it mean? Like, why am I being shown this dream? Let's just start with that. Why was I being shown this dream? What was the significance and importance of this dream? Because when you have a dream and you remember it, it's a message. Remember that. It's a vision, really. But I just use dream because it's easier to say. Okay, so if the Nine of Cups here, this is interesting because it's telling me here that no matter what goes on, no matter how many times or how good or how beneficial the vaccines really are, people are still going to be ignorant to what is really good. So, basically speaking that, there's many different vaccines, many different variables, and you kind of see here they're put on a pedestal because they're very good for you. However, you see this individual with his arm crossed, looking away, being very ignorant. Now, this is normally a very wistful card, but in this case, this is a wistful thinking to believing that he or she can overcome what can protect them. But really, that's just the ego, the mind of the ego that's allowing yourself to basically self-sabotage your ability to be able to survive and have a very love and nice lasting life, right? Misinformation plays a very big role here. The next card that flip with the Temperance. This is my hospital card and also my COVID-19 card. This is very interesting that this card comes up right after this. It talks about the COVID-19 vaccine and the misinformation that's being spread, forcing people to not trust their own intuition and to be in a fear state of mind. Right? What else? Can you add more information to this? Okay. We have the Tower card reverse. If you think this is 1984, it's not, honey. It's not. You're okay. You can rest assured. And I'll tell you one thing, and I'll tell you why. And I'm gonna talk about the manifestation, right? I'm gonna talk about the manifestation. So for example, my sister loves watching serial killers, right? On TV, she loved the documentary and stuff like that. Well, recently, a couple of days ago, or actually a week ago, she went to a store and some guy was following her, almost like Michael Myers. She was just standing there watching her, just standing there and doing nothing. And he just follows her. So she'll be all the way by the fish market and Stop and Shop. and he'll be all the way across the opposite side of the supermarket. And by the time me, my sister, and her are walking out, the guy's right behind them, following them. And then when they go outside, there's about 10 to 30 craves or ravens sitting right where the entrance is. And they felt like a negative, dark omen come upon them. The guy was following them. Turned out that the guy might have been a serial killer. So remember, if you think it's 1984, you will manifest 1984. Get yourself in a nice, positive mindset, because what you think, you will create. You are what you create. You are what you attract. That's what manifestation is. If you believe that the government is coming after you, you're damn sure the government's going to come after you, because you're bringing that energy there. If you don't want the government to come after you, just say, I am a law-abiding citizen and I have nothing for the government to get after, right? Don't bring unnecessary fear that is not necessary. Stop making yourself feel fearful, because a lot of what you experience is your fault. No one else's but your own, because you're bringing that negative energy into your homes. No one's forcing you to watch people who spread negative energy. You're allowing yourself to bring it in because you want that. You want to experience that. So don't allow yourself to experience 1984. Simple as that, right? You can easily avoid that timeline. It's up to you. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm giving you information. So we have here is we have the Tower card reverse, right? We also have here is we have the Empress card, right? This is the sister, the energy of the sisterhood, right? The feminine energy, right? And the fact that this is reversed tells me that science is on our side, but those who don't understand science can put that in jeopardy. People who pose as beings or people who have higher intellectual certification or doctorate or certification degrees, such as doctors, nurses, scientists, laboratory lab assistants, people with doctorate degree who specialize in what they do. People who don't have those degrees, who are uneducated, who only dropped out of high school, not even attended college, practicing those type of things, that's the danger here, right? We have here the moon. People not trusting because of misinformation, right? The false information, right? We have here the Scorpio, hidden information, secrets, unlocking. Then we have here people barking because they think that no matter the political divide, whether you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent, no matter your divide, people are barking at what they think is they're trying to stop. But really, there is nothing that's being stopped. What this is your ego. Your ego, your mindset, your mind. You've been fed this information to believe that there is some entity, some power that is destined to destroy your life. Remember, first of all, why would they ever want to kill you, right? First of all, population control. Why would they want to kill you if they need to make money off of you, right? What is the purpose of killing you other than they can't make a lot of money? People who are in a position of power want as much money as they can. So why would they murder you, right? They will want to keep you as long as possible, alive as long as possible. So why would they want to kill you? Don't get yourself in the mindset of population control. Just want to put that out there. We have here as well is Two of Wands reversed. There is no outside influence, right? There is no outside influence. This is relating to the dream. That a lot of this has to do with what is inside the ego. I think what this dream really is symbolizes to many of us is that this realize is supposed to have you go from within and do some shadow work. And people say, Chris, I think it's your fear. Your fear, you're scared. But listen, I'm not fearful of the vaccine. I will be more than happy to go out there and take that vaccine and have it on video for you guys. Again, I am not scared to take the vaccine. So this video, this dream could have never been triggered because I am not fearful of what could be, because I'm not scared. So the thing is that I could be picking up on your energy, or not even that. I could also be getting messages from my guide, which most likely this is because I do get downloads, that this is a message for you, right? And we have here, you need to walk away from this energy. You really need to walk away from that. And I'm talking with some of you guys, right? I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but you need to walk away from it because you're being too fearful and you're allowing that to cloud your judgment. When your judgment is clouded, you may not be able to live with the choices that you make, right? Mel, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, right. We do. A lot of us need to go outside. We need to have a fresh air, fresh breathe. We need to breathe in nature. That's what we need. We need nature to come through us, right? Let's kind of get a little more information on what this means. Again, I'm not picking on you guys. You just need to treat yourself better. Stop driving yourself crazy. You don't need to drive yourself crazy. Let yourself be. Let yourself be happy for once. Stop worrying about whether or not the government's coming after you or people are gonna, the world is ending. It's not going to end. Remember, I told you the way it started is the way we're gonna finish. And human civilization is always going to be back again, whether it goes out of existence for a little bit, but it'll always come back. Same thing with every living being on Earth. There is no such thing as end. Everything is infinite. Okay, let's do some reading. The spirits and angels tell me, what some dream interpretation should I take away from this dream today? Okay, so we have the root of evil, the root of mankind, right? The root of evil. The law of obedience, right? Obeying the law, obeying no matter who or what the situation is. In the future here, we have the exceptionality, right? Doing what is beyond expected, doing beyond experiments, right? This is almost like an experiment, basically. And we have here the tweets, right? People enjoying having the lavish, beautiful life, kind of thing, right? Very interesting. Because we have the root. So let's take a look. Let's look at the root for a second. We have this very mysterious guy here. We have almost something that looks like a raven, what's kind of like a raven here. So you have the male here. Then you have like an eye of like a crow with the eye here, right? Then you have a tower, right? Interesting. And it's kind of like soul. If you look at it, it's like a soul, like leaving, like a soul with like that mouth drawn apart, like that kind of thing, right? That's what I'm seeing. This is the root of fearing of what could be. If you believe that the vaccine is bad for you, you will manifest that vaccine to be really deadly for you, right? But you also need to trust your intuition. Not every vaccine is able to help guide you, to help protect you. Right now, everything is designed for you. You might be allergic to a specific chemical within the vaccine, so you might want to make sure you do your research to find, okay, so I might be allergic to, say, like, to aluminum, right? Maybe you might want to find a vaccine where it's not aluminum, but a seal. Something similar to that. Not every liquid or medical device or treatment is going to be helpful for everybody. Everybody has very individual bodies, and therefore not everything's going to be able to complement, right? We have here obedience here. This is interesting because we have here someone pointing in one direction, but then we have here this person kind of sitting down and saying, no, I don't want to go, right? And we have the wolf, right? This is where the fear side comes out, the fear, the scaredness that what could be. And I'm seeing octopus tentacles on this building, right? And what this is telling me here is the fearful, and it's again revolved around 1984. I think a lot of you guys are so fearful what is that you're actually creating the reality, giving it the perfect simulation for it to grow. This is obedience. We have the exceptionality, right? We're in the 3D right now. The 3-dimensional, right? This is why this box is a 3D checker box. Because if you go on all 4 sides, there's going to be the same thing. It's a 3D dimensional body. What we're going through right now within the future section is that this is the headway that leads us to the 5th dimension. I told you guys this many times that this is the spiritual disease. It will take out anything and everybody who is not supposed to be in this plane of existence. And the same thing vice versa. So if you're here in another reality, you're dead. In one other reality, the reason for this is that in order for you to ascend to the 5th dimension, you can't have 2 bodies in 2 different dimensions from 2 different perspectives and 2 different consciousness. That will torn your body. That will make you age so fast. So basically, by design, you have to die in one reality in order to be ascend your soul. And sometimes, some people have to die in the 5th dimension so that they can, grow their soul here. So when they're ready, they can transition to the 5th. Right? Everybody always will transition. It's just a period of personal spiritual growth. We have here as well, we have the tweets, right? People, high corporation. Maybe there is some truth to it. I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure, right? But what I can tell you is that enjoy the goodness of life. Enjoy every waking moment because you don't know when your last is going to be, right? You don't know when your last is going to be, right? And you see here this person enjoying it. Kind of reminds me very similar to like corporations kind of taking a big bite. Like I'm just enjoying it. But they don't really know what they're enjoying because if you look here, you don't see anybody happy, right? You don't see the girl happy. You don't see the guy on the left happy. You don't even see the guy who's serving them happy, right? No one is happy. You put yourself in this false sense of security by filling yourself and allowing yourself to enjoy and indulge in the materialistic thing that are not even there to even help guide you, right? Let me see what some of you guys are saying. Yeah, so if you work for the federal government, I believe you don't have a choice, but I can't confirm that. Again, I don't know. I'm sorry, Aspie. I'm so sorry for your mother. I'm sorry for her death. Yeah, okay, so I just want to let you guys know I had COVID twice. The first time I had COVID was in 2019, going to 2020. Then I had it again in December of 2020, going into January of 2021, and I didn't heal until March of 2021. But yeah, anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's see. Does anyone else have any question? Because if it starts to get a little too sensitive or something, we'll end the video. While we're doing, I'm gonna give you guys a little break to kind of ask questions about the dream. I'm gonna quickly go to Average so I can get some more tarot decks. Hello, everyone. As you see on the screen right now, we have 34% of YouTube recommending our content. The best way for us to raise this number or bar higher is by subscribing, hitting the bell icon, and liking this video and sharing it with other people. And don't also forget to comment in the section below what you think of the video and its content. It will be extremely helpful for us getting other people to know all about our channel, what we do here. If you do love the channel, definitely try to help out as much as you could. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy the content. Bye. Yeah, this is true. Aspie, the mRNA backs by targeting spike protein retains adaptable defense against variants. And I spoke about this many times on my channel, and I warned a lot of people. And don't worry, though I got some negative feedback at the time because no one understood. Now you guys mostly understood. But let's quickly go over again what I meant back then so you could properly understand what she means. So basically speaking, for example, here is your blood cell, right? This is your blood cell. This is your blood vessel, right? This is your little cell in your body, right? And here is your white blood cell. So let me just put white and red, okay? That is your red blood cell. That is your white blood cell. The white blood cell that is designed like the military to attack any sort of intruder invader into your body, right? So now, just say the virus comes in and the virus looks like this, right? This is the virus. Right? This is the virus, right? The virus looks like a squid. That's the COVID-19 virus, right? Well, in order for it to attack, what it has to do is it has to launch onto the red blood cells. It launches on, there's a mitochondria and a nuclei. The nuclei inside the red blood cell has a blueprint of your DNA. What it does is basically it takes out the nuclei, the blueprint, and it inserts it with a brand new blueprint. So basically think of like when you go to a grocery store, your favorite grocery store, it had a makeover. The ownership changes, they change the whole planning at the grand opening at this red blood cell, right? So now this red blood cell had a brand new business model, brand new business plan, different products and stuff like that, right? It has a brand new ownership. It's owned by the COVID-19 variant. In order for this to have a protein compound for a particular variant is different for each one. So, for example, this protein compound could look something similar to like this. Right? It could look like a puzzle, right? In order for this to fit, it needs to find a puzzle that looks and acts similar, right? Just say this is the virus protein, and this is the actual enzyme, which is the puzzle that connects to the two in the red blood cell, allows it to connect, allowing the virus to mutate, right? Red blood cells mutate at a very fast rate. The virus will allow that to happen. It connects to one another, allowing the virus to mutate, right? That's how this works. Again, that is a little bit overview and inside the body and anatomy of red blood cells when it comes to both the protein and the enzyme. Now, going to RNA. RNA messaging is basically the blueprint inside the nuclei of the red blood cell. That's why it's very important that this vaccine is here. So, for example, just say this black of dry erase marker is the original DNA of the human being of that red blood cell, right? Well, now this is the original person DNA, right? What it does is basically the virus will take this person's DNA and replace it with something that looks similar to something like this. We'll take blue. The blue is the COVID-19 virus DNA, right? The brand new blueprint that they instituted, right? We have here, they got rid of the person's DNA, replaced it with the COVID-19 blueprint. Right now, what ends up happening is that the one they created on a brand new virus, so this is just say the original COVID-19 virus, right? And a brand new person recovers, they heal them, but this virus is still in the body. It's still going through the bloodstream, still going through the blood system. What basically means is that just say, COVID-19 Delta, right? The person gets COVID-19 Delta. This is the second time they get COVID. This is the red one. COVID-19 Delta is the red dry erase marker. This is the DNA. Now, the problem with this issue and why many countries have so many different variants is ready wash. Now, the person already had this original COVID one, and because its DNA is here, and this one is the Delta virus, which is the red one, because they're in the body in the same bloodstream, now watch this. They can now merge together and become a brand new variant. That's how brand new variants work. It's not made up. This is science. Watch. This is the blue. The blue is the original, and the red is the Delta, right? They interchange DNA, and what this does is evolution, right? What a virus is, it's a stage of evolution. It takes a little bit of the original COVID vaccine virus DNA and the new one, and it combines to make a brand new variant. This is variant Lambda, for example, right? This is how this brand new variant works. Every country has something different, a different virus. So, for example, if you got COVID from UK, you have a very different variant from the UK one compared to the United States one, even though it's the first strain. The reason for that is it allows the body to be able to allow the virus to mutate so much so that it has an evolutionary process. So it takes what worked and what doesn't. So if it doesn't work in terms of spreading and by coughing or nasal, they will find other means that are necessary that just say works really well with the Delta. To say Delta is spreading faster through droplets in the eyes. And, the original was better when people were touching products. Then the new one will not only have spread faster through droplets, but also through touching, right? So that is how that works. That is RNA. And so the way the vaccine and the vaccine will target this is they would take the RNA, which is basically both DNA strains from both viruses, and they would call that RNA, which is basically the blueprint of the DNA of the virus. And what they do is they're able to attack anything similar to the DNA of the one that they're able to design it for. So, for example, if they get this one, not only is this vaccine is going to protect you from this variant, it's going to protect you from Delta and COVID, original COVID. That's how this works. In case you are not sure on how the RNA DNA works. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense now. I know it's hard because a lot of us don't get taught this in school. Luckily, I did, so I understand a lot of it. I'm going to put this on here. Anyone who's confused about the virus or the vaccine, you don't want to read the scientific. If you don't want to read the scientific research and data tablets, at least check out MedCram and TWIV videos on YouTube where they break down or debate them. So I don't know specifically. I never watched them. I'm not endorsing them, but this is what a subscriber says. So if you want to kind of do your own internal research, you can find out whether or not it's up to you to find out if they're credible or not. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards, right? But it's the Ivy. I don't know why I got that. All right, so anyway, let's take a look. So Spirits and Angels tell me, what else do we need to know about the dream? What else do we need to know? Any more information? Okay. Anything else? If you are on my other channel, Celestial Curse and Beyond, I am uploading a video. I tried to make one and then it got deleted, so I have to remake it now. Okay. There is a little bit of nudity, so if you have children, I would recommend you close your eyes for a moment. I'll let you know when. All right, so we have a journey to wholeness, right? A lot of what we're supposed to experience is we're supposed to be in a state of calmness, in a state of peacefulness. A lot of us are not having our chakras in alignment, and this is what is needed for us in order to come out and be able to experience the goodness and to be able to get rid of COVID. You need to be able to be in the best version of yourself. So take the time that COVID is giving you to work on your inner shadows, your inner work. Do some meditation, guidance. Start learning about tarot cards. Start learning about incense. You know, whatever it is, do your passion, what makes you happy. This is what COVID has given you. Take advantage of it, right? We have here, again, when you take advantage of it, you will start to transform. You're going to that transition period. You're going to start to look at the world in a very different and more beautiful and more gorgeous way, right? A lot of you guys are star seeds, right? You're from different planets. You may have oftentimes feel like you're not born here or you don't belong here. That is true. You come from a different planet, but you came here for an agreement to make the world better. Do better, be better, so that the world can be a better place for all of us, right? We have here full spectrum. When you've finally gone through these phases, right, you will finally be able to come into fruition. You'll be able to get into the fullest section of yourself. You see this woman coming down to the dragonfly. What you see here, she's like in a state of peacefulness, receiving information, downloads from the guides. You see here we have the macabre, we have the skull. You are beyond death. Don't fear death. Death is beyond us. That there is more to life than what you're being told, what you've been led to believe, that there is more to you. You need to believe that. Channel your inner work, channel your chakras, channel your macabre, right? That is all about your crown, your understanding, your knowledge. And we have here, when you do that, the air and the paradigm shift will start to begin, right? If you look here, we have these different eyes, and this is actually what an angel actually looks like. The angel has different eyes and stuff like that. When you start to become into a moment of air and allow yourself to breathe through wherever it is that life wants to take you, wherever destiny takes you, you will start to experience a paradigm shift. Basically meaning you will start shifting reality to the one where you are the most successful, the one where you're the most beautiful, where you're most happy, where you're the most successful, and stuff like that, right? You will paradigm shift. This is what this dream is. It's not necessarily a message of fear. It's not about fear mongering. What this message really is, in terms of this vision that I have received, was just for you to realize that you need to take this moment that COVID is giving us, to go within. This is all that is all about. It's nothing to do with the scientific side of it or the fear mongering. It has everything to do with you. I think this is a very beautiful way to end the reading today. So I love you guys. I hope you have a very beautiful day. I'm going to take a couple of days off, and I'll be right back hopefully soon. Yeah, you can expect new videos on my other channels as well. I'll be taking more time and spending it there. So anyway, I may or may not do another COVID based on the responses that we got today. I'll keep an eye on and see how everybody else responds. Other than that, I love you guys. Hope you have a very beautiful night. Bye.